believe in greatness. What is greatness? What is greatness? Jordan says, I believe greatness is an evolutionary process that changes and evolves era to era. I can't tell you how important it is to know that greatness can't be limited to just one generation. I hear so many seasoned people, they get on this generation because they don't fit the standard of the past generation. And then so we judge them by saying, well, when I was your age, we did it like this. My mom would do this to me if I did this. And so we judge children, or we judge the generation, their greatness according to an era that was completely different. There was no Facebook in the 60s. No Twitter in the 70s. So their level or understanding of greatness has probably been reduced or heightened to 120 characters. So how can we change and evolve our thinking to include not only the past, but include their present context now? And say, this is what greatness is. Now that's abstract. We're going to bring it home. Jordan says an evolutionary process that changes. This is the word human beings are afraid of. Change. Because we tend to get a little bit prideful and say, well, my generation did it better. I tend to say the past generation didn't do it better, you just hit it better. Hit it better. Now, there was some things you all did better, but it was hidden better. So now how can we transfer what we did up to this generation and not hold them to such standards that they can't understand? So, how we do that? According to Webster, we got to somehow figure out how to reduce believing greatness from abstract to the physical, to concrete meanings. So according to Webster, let's break the term down. Believe. It means to have a firm conviction as to the goodness, the efficacy, or ability of something. Then the word in, believe, means to have a firm conviction as to the goodness, efficacy, ability, or ability of something. The word in, used to indicate location within something, used to indicate that someone or something belongs to or is included as a part of something. And then according to Webster, the word greatness, it actually said great, but the greatness here, remarkable skill set. So, in my opinion, to believe in greatness from the abstract to the physical or the concrete means to have the firm conviction and faith placed in one's character, skill set, mindset, in spite of who they are and where they are at the moment. That's hard. That's hard. To have the firm conviction and faith placed in one's character, skill set, mindset, in spite of who they are and where they are. That's the hard part. Because these rascals come in here and they get on your last nerves. Listen, I used to be one. Get on your last nerve, let you do everything but teach. So, who knows what that is?
Bamboo.
Boom. I'm pretty sure y'all heard the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. What it does, but I want us to tie it to the children because in everything you do, here's the story. In your family, this says family, but I'm going to change it to your educational careers. In everything you do in your educational careers, keep in mind the miracle of the Chinese bamboo tree. After the seed for this amazing tree is planted, you see nothing, absolutely nothing for 4 years, except a tiny shoot coming out of the ground. During those 4 years, all the growth is underground in a massive fibrous root structure that spreads deep and wide in the earth. But then in the fifth year, the Chinese bamboo tree grows up to 80 feet. Nothing for 4 years. In the fifth year, it springs up 80 feet, 90 feet. Many things in your educational careers, in your educational lifespan, are like the Chinese bamboo tree. You work and you invest, you teach, and you invest time and effort, and you do everything you can to possibly nurture and grow, and sometimes you don't see anything for weeks, months, or even years.
Right.
But if you're patient and keep working and nurturing, that fifth year will come and you will be astonished at the growth and change you see taking place. Patience is faith in action. Patience is emotional diligence. It's the willingness to suffer inside. So it's the willingness to suffer inside so that others can grow. It reveals love. It reveals that love gives birth to understanding. It understands that this boy, this girl ain't nothing but 10 years old. And before I see the graveyard, I'd rather see the greatness. This girl is nothing but 11 years old. Before I cast aspersions, before I tell them you're going to be nothing, you're going to end up in jail, maybe I should see greatness before I see the graveyard.
Right.
Maybe I should try to invest, to nurture. And I'm not saying you all are doing this. I'm just saying this is concept I'm trying to bring to, the physical, the concrete. Because why? You're looking at a Chinese bamboo tree while I didn't grow 90 feet tall. You're looking at a Chinese bamboo tree. That's me right there in the 5th grade, cursing my teachers out. That's me right there in the 8th grade. We had opposite dress day, where the boys dressed like you and the girls dressed like boys. So I wouldn't. That's me. That's all I cared about when I went to school, was these kind of days, these kinds of moments. Could care less about my teachers. That's me. In high school, this is one of the saddest pictures you ever see in your life. A young man who had no money going to his prom, who had to wear his brother's wedding suit because we were so broke. The suit was too big. If you notice, it's covering my hand. Someone even in the 8th grade, I was in the 8th grade here, I wore this suit to my 8th grade prom. And someone noticed it in high school and said, didn't you wear that in the 8th grade? I had nothing. But what I remember now, what happened between those pictures and these pictures? Here it is, Saturday, I spoke at my first college commencement, first college graduation. I gave the commencement address, my first one ever. Here, I graduated college in 2013.
Wow.
Here, I'm speaking in schools, giving back to young people. What happened between here and 25 years later is because people like you saw my greatness and didn't see my graveyard. I remember teachers telling me, come up in class, Miss Jennifer Bells, one of my Spanish teachers, she would tell me, son, why are you cutting up? Listen, apply that energy and live your purpose and you'll be great in life. She said, take the same energy. She never said, boy, you're not going to be anything. Boy, you're on your way to jail. She applied words that could soak in me even if I didn't show any kind of sign at the time. My mother used to always tell me, boy, if you're going to be a fool, be a paid fool. Don't be a fool for free. Don't make people laugh for free. Get some money out of them and make them laugh. I didn't understand that. What she was saying is basically, be something in life. Go somewhere. What happened between this and that? I told you people saw my greatness and not my graveyard. What happened between this part where I had no father? Mr. Brown has heard this story. The first time I saw my father, I was 26. I'm 33 now. That was 7 years ago. He asked me for money to get drunk the first time I saw him. Second time I saw him, he was in the hospital. Couldn't speak. Third time I saw him, he was dead. Every image I have of my father represents darkness, represents hopelessness. So how could I come from the ashes of fatherlessness to the beauty of raising 3 girls? Because people like you saw my greatness and not my graveyard. When I see my teachers now, they say, boy, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But even in their mind, they were saying that boy is bad as ever. But out of their mouth, even if they were lying to me by saying, you're going to be something, God can turn it into the truth. Bring you full circle. Bring you full circle. Now, as I said, I didn't grow 90 feet tall. But I'm growing 90 feet tall in my purpose, in my understanding of life, in my understanding that I don't have long to live here. 80 years is not a long, 90 years, 100, we think it's long. But look at where you are now and then ask yourself, man, I got here so fast. So, we got to understand that right now, it's a state of emergency.
It sure is.
It's a state of emergency. You dealing with kids, I'm pretty sure you know, that's wearing the same clothes.
Yep.
The same underwear every day. Nothing to eat every day. I have kids in my summer camp this past summer. They want to eat all day. Something is telling me, either they're not eating at home or they're not getting enough. It's a state of emergency. What you do is not, it goes beyond education. I can't remember 98% of the stuff I learned in school. But I remember for some reason when you all spoke a good word to me. Because the true word of education doesn't mean knowledge. It means to draw from within. So if you're not speaking anything that these young people can grow up and draw from within, what are we doing? It's a state of emergency. They need help, and they need help now. I know we see them showing 5 young men, 3 young men beating up the ice cream man. And while they show that 3, they need to show the other 30 that's obeying the parent.
That's right. That's right.
That's doing what they're doing in the classrooms. While they're showing the 30 that may jump on someone at the gas station, they need to show the 300 that just graduated.
That's right.
See, we love showing the graveyard, but not the greatness. So what I need us to do is realize the state of emergency. And that we got to go into this school year with the end in mind, even if the end is 25 years later. So, I hope I've said something to inspire, to motivate, and to bring about innovative ideas in us. And I hope that you're looking at a Chinese bamboo tree. Someone who didn't care about anything you said to me, but now it's paying off. So I appreciate you all, and I thank you. God bless you.